As once said by former NBA player Michael Jordan, you can practice shooting for 8 hours a day, but if your technique is wrong, all you become is very good at shooting the wrong way. Get the fundamentals down and the level of everything you do will rise. Getting the fundamentals down is essential to becoming a good shooter in basketball. I've been playing basketball since I was about 4 years old, and I've played basketball every year since then. I've always been the shooter of every team that I've been on, and I started varsity all 4 years of my high school career. The first thing you need to know about basketball is what to wear. Obviously, if you're on a team, you'll have a basketball jersey, but if you're just playing for fun, shorts and a t-shirt will do. Kind of like how I have on right now. And the most important thing about your attire in basketball is your shoes. You need to have a good sports shoe. That's very important when playing basketball, even if you're just shooting. If you're playing outside, I'd obviously recommend just a good tennis shoe. I mean, I have my Nikes on right now, and that's what I always wear when I'm playing outside. But, Asics, Skechers, Adidas, anything like that, whatever fits your foot the best, and make sure it supports your ankle also. But if you're inside, I recommend getting a good basketball shoe, like Hyperdunks. That's my number one recommend because they really support your ankle, and they seem to be the hot topic right now when it comes to high school teams and things like that. But I know people also like Air Jordan, KD, Kobe's, things like that. But just make sure that you find one that really supports your ankle, and I also really recommend getting ankle braces because you really don't want your ankle to twist or anything like that and make you have to be sitting out for months. But when you get a basketball shoe, it is specifically meant for the gym floor. So that means that the grip is designed to be able to grip the shoe when you're moving left to right quickly. So do not wear your basketball shoes outside. Bring an extra pair of shoes, change into those shoes when you're done, because if you wear them outside, that's going to wear down the grip like 80 times quicker than if you just wear them on the court. And I also recommend getting new basketball shoes annually, or if you don't play that much, every 2-3 years, whenever you feel like you're slipping around on the court. I always got new basketball shoes every year when I was playing, but I played all the time. So it really just depends how often you are using your basketball shoes. Now let's get into the actual shooting, how to shoot a basketball. And I found an acronym that has 4 main points for shooting basketball, and it's BEEF. That stands for balance, eyes, elbows, and follow through. The first thing, balance. You need to have balance when you're shooting. You don't want your shot to go left or right. If you're missing long or short, that's way easier to fix than if you're going left or right. So it's very important to stay balanced. Make sure your feet are about shoulder width apart. And if you're left-handed, make sure your left foot is slightly in front of your right foot. And if you're right-handed, make sure your right foot is slightly in front of your left foot. I'm right-handed, so my right foot will be slightly in front of my left. And make sure that you have soft knees. You don't want your knees to be locked. You need to have soft knees so you can always be ready to shoot, to drive, whatever. And if you don't have soft knees, then you'll be locked, easier to go left or right. Just make sure, and also make sure that you're not L-shaping the ball. Make sure you are L-shaping the ball, not J. L, not J. That'll help it not go left or right also. And then the second point in the acronym BEEF is eyes, which is the most important point in a shot. Because if you're not looking at the rim, how are you going to be able to make a shot? What I recommend is staring at the center rim hook. The rim hooks go all across the goal, and they're what the net hangs on. And if you look at a goal, you'll be able to see the rim hooks. And I recommend always staring at the center rim hook from where you are. So if you're at the top of the key, stare at the middle of the rim. If you're diagonal, stare diagonally to the rim if you're on the wing. If you're in the corner, you'll be looking at the side of the rim, but it'll be the front of the rim relative to where you are. And you just need to make sure that you're staring a hole in the center rim hook. I swear that'll make your shot 50 times better right there, even if you don't do anything else I say in this video. So if you take anything from this video, stare at the center of the rim from it. And the next point is elbows, which is also a very important point. You need to make sure that your elbow is in, like so. Your dominant hand, the one that shoots the ball, make sure your elbow is in. Many beginning shooters want to shoot with their elbow out, and that is not good because that can make the ball go completely out of whack. So make sure that your elbow is right under the ball, and your non-dominant hand should just be resting on the ball. It should be keeping the ball on your right hand. It should not have any effect on your shot at all. If it is, that's going to be messing up your shot, and you're not going to be able to figure out what's wrong. Make sure that your non-dominant hand is not a factor in your shot. It is just keeping the ball balanced on your dominant hand. And then, the last point, follow through. There's many points in a follow through. First off, you need to make sure your hands are spread. Like this. You do not want to do this. And that might not seem like that big of a point, but it is. Because if your hands are close together, it's easier for your hand to slip off the ball for you to go left or right. If your hands are spread, you have more control over where the ball is going. And then you need to make sure that you go straight up with the shot, not out. So even if you're at the 3-point line, you should almost land in the exact same spot where you started. So straight up, because if you jump out, it's more likely that your shot will be long or something like that. So just make sure that you jump straight up. And then when you're shooting, make sure that you release the ball at the highest possible point. So don't release it like right here. You want to release it at the very top, so it'll have a lot of soft touch and make it all the way to the rim. And as you're going up with the shot, make sure that you flick your wrist at the top. If you don't flick your wrist, your shot will have no backspin, it'll not be soft, and it will most likely not go in. So make sure that you flip your wrist. And then you need, at the top, you need to point either your index finger or your middle finger. And I point my index finger, but when I was in middle school, younger, I used to point my middle finger. It's really just whichever one you're more comfortable with. And that needs to be the last thing that touches the ball. And it's supposed to lead it to the rim. So it is very important that you think of that. That might not seem like a big thing, but it is. And then in your follow through, my first coach that I had taught me that when you're going up, think about how you're putting your hand in a cookie jar on the top shelf. You're reaching for a cookie on the top shelf like that. That'll make you think, oh, release all the way up, because I'm grabbing the cookie out of the top of the jar. So that's just a little thing that you can try. And also, back to the eyes, how I stare at the front of the rim. Many people stare at the back of the rim. Many great shooters that I know stare at the back of the rim, which you can do, but my shot is usually long when I stare at the back of the rim, but I think it's because I've been staring at the front of the rim my whole life. So really, I would just pick either the front of the rim or the back of the rim and stay with it, and don't go back and forth. Just pick one and stay with it, because I know a lot of great shooters who also stare at the back of the rim. And yeah, and also, if you're a beginner shooter, I recommend starting about 2 to 3, maybe 4 feet away from the basket and just going straight up. You don't want to start like at the 3-point line when you're first beginning. You need to start and get your form down. And once you get your form down, then you can back up, and because really your form's going to be the same no matter where you are at on the court. The only thing that's going to change is how much legs you put in it. So if you're at the 3-point line, you're obviously going to put in way more leg than if you were 3 feet away. That's the only thing that changes. So if you get your form down from close, then you'll be making way more from far out. It'll just be muscle memory from there. So I really hope that this video helps you beginner shooters start up on shooting, and helps you experienced shooters, if maybe you're doing something wrong in your shot, helps you fix that problem. So I really hope you guys get out there and play.